Hi geeks, we're back with part 2 of our exploration into D&D, and this time we are meeting with the Vermin and Valor D&D group about their very unique style of Dungeons and Dragons. Check it out.
Welcome to So You Want to Be a Geek, the podcast where we dive into the vibrant and ever-evolving world of geek culture. Whether you're a seasoned fan or just curious about what makes being a geek so special, join us as we explore everything from comics to movies, gaming, tech, sports, and everything in between. Each episode will bring you insights, interviews, and the latest news to fuel your passion and expand your horizons. So grab your favorite fandom and let's embark on this geeky adventure together. I'm Michael Canetti, and this is So You Want to Be a Geek.
Hi everybody, and welcome to another episode of So You Want to Be a Geek. And this time, we're getting geeky about Dungeons and Dragons. And I have been fascinated about this game for many, many years and terrified to play it because I just don't know if I can grasp the whole thing. But today, I have Paul and Tracy here to talk to me about Dungeons and Dragons and their very unique style of gameplay. So, Paul, tell me a little about yourself.
Oh God, I'm 53. I've been doing this far too long. I guess this is kind of like a second skin.
Okay.
You know, sometimes you hate it, but sometimes, you know, it's just a part of me. I think if I ever stopped, like at 40, like I said I was going to stop at 40, I don't know. It would be like a dog chasing a car and just going, what do I do now that I caught the car?
Right. It's, you know, I feel like in a similar way to, like, I collect comic books.
Yeah, so do I.
And I couldn't imagine myself not collecting comics, right? And I took a...
What do you read?
What do I read? Every Marvel, DC, Image, Boom Comics, you name it. I go the gamut of different books, and depending on my style and preference and, you know, mood of the month, you know, I'm a big, I would say predominantly a big Batman fan.
Yeah, that's what I read the most of.
You know, and you know, then it would it varies a lot of X-Men and stuff like that, and so on and so forth. But yeah, oh please, and I have comics, Legos, Hot Toys.
We have Legos. We moved about 2 weeks ago, and we haven't been able to set up the Legos. And obviously, as you can see, we have nothing on our walls. So,
Hey, you'll get there. You just moved. I mean,
yeah. But what we used to in our old place, our kitchen was surrounded in Legos.
Mm-hmm.
Like our dining room was all Legos.
That's cool.
We should have taken pictures.
Yeah, we had a set build up Batman. And,
Okay.
We had a
Train car.
We had a Wayne car. We had the Monarch Theater set up
Mm-hmm.
and some other stuff set up, and that was before a prior move. So it's literally moved sets twice. So they're in storage right now, and I'm looking forward to getting shelving back up and getting those back up on the
Nice.
shelves. The Wayne Manor was particularly large, so
And a custom piece because they've never made a Wayne.
Yeah, no, I actually during COVID did a custom bat cave and built it, you know, for about
God.
6 months or so. And I've collected every.
I'd love to see that.
Oh, it's awesome! I'll show you some pictures after the podcast.
Great.
I have all the different Batmobiles they've released in different sections and stuff like that. And there's like I even got a dinosaur and the whole thing. I did the whole thing. So, if you had to guesstimate, how long have you been playing D&D for?
Well, oh God, I played D&D when I was 12.
Oh, really?
So we're talking too long, 40 years.
Wow.
And, you know, we run a hero game. We don't exactly run D&D, but most of our players would basically recruit from that pool.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what most people have as a background.
So let's actually talk a little bit about your style of game. So one of the things that I thought was so fascinating when we were texting and chatting was the fact that, like, you don't do the traditional, like, you know, dragons and, you know, medieval style, Lord of the Rings style storytelling. You do it more like a superhero storytelling. How did that even come to be?
Honestly, I moved back from North Carolina when I was 26, and my whole life kind of changed. So I was bored. The internet gaming on the internet just started, and so it was a way to keep myself entertained, type of thing. And from there, I did it for about 3 or 4 years, and I met her at a convention. I was with my Star Trek buddies, and I was in a Starfleet uniform, and believe it or not, Tracy was in a RoboCop outfit.
Really?
And
That's interesting.
I was like, when I heard her voice, I said, I have to see this face. I pulled her helmet off. And our first picture is me in my Starfleet uniform, her in RoboCop, and 6 months later, we were married.
Wow. Listen,
And it's 23 years later, and
that's awesome. Look at that. That's very
The
cool.
last thing I expected when wearing a 60-pound fiberglass and plastic rig is to find a husband. So.
Hey, listen, people found things in stranger places, and you know, man, I could do an entire episode about comic conventions and whatnot, but like, yeah, please, I've been to so many, and you know, I actually tend to like to go to the smaller ones now as opposed to the New York Comic Cons.
I think I don't like New York Comic Con. I went there 1 year. There's too many people.
It's too many people. It's too commercial now,
and there's really nothing to do. It's a
Right.
game. It's a big game. It's a big room for comics and toys. Yes, it's a great dealer's room.
but a lot of advertisers.
Yeah.
You just, you know,
And if you want to go sit in the panel, you have to go there like almost like 2 hours early to get a seat.
and forget if you want to get an autograph. Please, you'll waste an entire day.
And now, now it's like you got to buy this pass or this pass to get access here. It's like
Yeah, it's a money
miss
grab.
the old access pass where you just buy a weekend pass
So that's funny.
for like $50-$60
Right.
and you just walk
Early
over.
on, I used to get the VIP passes. You'd have a private room where you put all your bags, and you basically go into anything all day long. And they got rid of that, and but when it became more popular. So now, speaking of superheroes and cons and whatnot, now do you create unique superheroes, or do you base it off of like traditional Marvel, DC archetypes?
We first played Marvel many years ago.
Years ago, yeah.
About what, 15 years ago we stopped Marvel? 10 years ago?
About 10 years ago, we stopped Marvel, yeah.
And we ran that for about 20-something, about 15 years together.
Wow.
And I ran that a couple years before I met Tracy. All the characters are original characters. It's set in one of the universes. Now we're in DC.
Okay.
What's her hero name?
What's her hero name?
General Hawk.
Okay.
And she plays what's a race called Thanagarian. Like,
Oh, nice.
I know Thanagarians. Come on, I know DC Comics. Please.
oh, that's right. You can play comics. DC, I think, is a little easier to run because DC's set up where you have Star City on one side and Gotham City on the other side of the country.
And then Coast City in another location.
yeah,
Yeah,
when you get to Marvel, it's kind of funny.
everything's New York.
Everything's
New York
Manhattan.
West, yeah.
If I was a supervillain, I would never hit Manhattan. I'd hit everything around it.
Everybody's there. It's like, oh, okay, yeah. I it's funny, and I love Marvel and DC, but I do find it funny that like 95% of the characters are based in New York. It's so
Yeah.
weird. So that's cool though. And you've been running this particular game for how many years?
The DC, oh God. Since probably about 8 or 9, about 7 or 8.
Yeah,
Since-
about that, yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, I had my coma, 2014?
No,
so
no, 2017.
17, so about 2 years after that. So, yeah, about 6-7 years.
Wow, that's so. How does a campaign carry out for that many years? Like, I don't understand how that works. It's just like a
lot of patience, a lot of collaboration. You try to find as many good people, I guess, as you can. Because the sad truth about a gaming group is lives change.
yeah.
Somebody gets married, somebody's husband doesn't want them to play anymore, somebody's wife doesn't want to play anymore.
I've heard that story more than once.
Somebody gets a boyfriend, and then they're,
Yeah.
they don't want to do a thing anymore.
So what happens if somebody leaves the group? Do you have to just kill them off, or like?
No, we we either let the character go off on their own, or we gracefully retire them,
Or they're missing.
or they're missing. Sometimes if the player may come back, we just, hey, they're just missing somewhere in the time stream, and we'll pick up with them.
It's the multiverse. They could be anywhere.
They could be anywhere. That's the beauty of comic books. Death is a revolving door. Getting lost in the multiverses things. So.
I mean, how many characters have died multiple times and come back in comics? Please, it's a.
I mean, you should never
joke.
get a tombstone with a permanent date on it in a comic book universe.
It goes on forever. Now,
dry erase board.
Superman, Batman, Robin, Dick Grayson. I can go on.
I could go on forever. So
Spider-Man's currently dead, I think.
in one version, yeah. In another one, he's married, so it doesn't make any sense. So now, do you come up with the narrative for each meeting? How does that work?
Yeah, if you want, try grab my pad. I'll show him.
Okay.
We come up with a storyline, which, an overall arching storyline, like, oh God, I can't believe I'm showing this. I do not want the content of this read online.
I won't read it online. I'm just fascinated to see how that works.
Like, of course, my pad does not want to open because I want it to.
You're excited, and you just tap, tap, tap. Whoops, miss.
You can open this. My fingers are not exactly. That's something else my generation I don't think I'll ever get used to.
So, how many people are in your group currently?
9, 10, 8, something like that.
And they come every month or every...
Between the internet and everything, pretty much, mostly.
Interesting.
Where am I out? Okay, there's my... You asked how do I do this, you got to be very organized.
I'm sure.
And this has been my overall arching plot for the last 5 years, and there's probably at least about a good another 3-4 years on that one document. And we collaborate on a lot. What we'll do from that is build around the characters we have.
So I can't spoil the secrets because I don't want the viewers to know their narrative. But what I find so interesting about they're essentially like outlines to screenplays, if you think about it.
Yeah, I'll show you. I'll show you even today's. What I have here.
What drives me crazy is if people in the D&D community can come up with these amazing overarching narratives, how come Hollywood can't make anything new? It's like...
Because they're more concerned with hiring somebody with the most famous, the most polished degree that comes from X and Y film school instead of just grabbing someone who's...
Add them up?
Yeah.
Yes.
There's math involved in this game too? What's...
You do grades, Michael.
I know, but oh my
I'm
goodness.
starting to worry. Do you just throw like a dart in a wall and whoever gets what?
Yeah, you got it.
Like, one of the things that I started that this campaign does is we name all of our adventures after songs. And not to spoil too much, but today is a song that Tracy wrote in AI.
Really? Now, have you utilized AI to help create narratives like through ChatGPT?
To a degree, to a point, like something like the tedious stuff I hate. Like, hey, I want stats from minions, or make me a list of this or that, and, but I still write my stuff out. I'm still a stickler for writing it out. When I used to be able to write better, because I have neuropathy, unfortunately, and I'm in my 50s, but let's say years ago, I used to have old pen and paper. I used to write out an outline on a piece of paper, like pencil. I was famous for pencil because I want to erase instead of having pen and cross out. I hated ink blots. So I would write everything out in pencil, and then from there, I would let it sit in my head for a couple of days and then type it up.
Wow. This is, that is immense. Like, there's a lot of narrative in this particular, this is just for 1 month's meeting, right? Like, that's,
one session.
That's wild. And you were saying to me, like, you're like the session usually runs like 6 hours or so, give or take?
If not longer, but yeah. We've had sessions that have gone, oh God, in the old days, There were times on a summer night
We'll go
with
way
with Marvel when we had like 10 people in our old place laying on our living room floor, starting about 2 in the afternoon after having barbecued, and then when you have people who are all 21, sometimes the blender came out and margaritas were made and other things like daiquiris. And you'd have people singing Kumbaya practically on your living room floor at 2 in the morning who didn't leave till 4 in the morning.
Oh, those were the days.
So it's a little tamer now.
That's funny. So, okay, speaking of that, right? So you have members of your group that are through Discord, and they're all over the country. Now,
Primarily because of COVID.
right. So how did the game evolve because of COVID and create this Discord community?
I think it's a catch-22, to be honest with you. I'm old style. I still think there's nothing like having a couple people sit in your living room.
Yeah, I could get that.
And being able to have friends you can go out with and somebody to go to a movie with sometimes. I mean, with the Discord community, yeah, I will sit there and talk to them forever sometimes. There are some times that we'll just talk or text or, hey, pick up a voice chat, and we don't even talk about gaming, and we just talk about our lives sometimes. But Discord kind of evolved with COVID. I mean, I guess people still wanted the game, and it's a great avenue for picking up people, I guess.
Yes, it is.
It's a little like when we used to run games on AOL.
Yes, because it was originally an all online format with text chat. We'd pick up people in the AOL. Then it evolved into a tabletop game, which was in person. And now it's a hybrid where we have people that are not local that come in with Discord and they join the group. And we have the session on the big television with the web camera so that they can play as well. The hybrid...
Maps go on this big screen and it goes into Discord chat so everyone can see it at once.
So it's not a theater of the mind that you actually have a visual map that people can like look at.
It's still theater of the mind, but at least they have a map where they can...
And visuals sometimes of key characters, just so that there's something there tangible that they can look at. Right, pictures.
Cool. And how do you find people that, could be in Colorado or whatever to join your group?
I hire bounty hunters. A lot of online forums, I guess Facebook groups have a lot of people who are looking for a game, and some people will be like, no, I just want to play D&D because it's the best thing ever. Okay. Your opinion, not mine.
Have fun, yep. Nothing wrong with it.
How can you say that?
It was funny, we mentioned Facebook. That's how I found you guys was, basically I've been wanting to do a D&D episode for years, and then my buddy was like, why don't you just look at this Long Island Facebook group? And I was like, I don't know why I didn't think of that. And I just messaged, and you were the first to reach out to me, and I was like, wow, this is, and then we started talking, and I was like, well, this is a very interesting thing, because there are as many levels and tiers to this, and I think that's what's so funny about D&D is that it can be anything for any group, right?
Yeah, it can be, and gaming in general can be. And D&D is really not the only ticket in town. There's Call of Cthulhu, which I think is a wonderful game. That's a horror game, and I like that much better.
Really?
They will call me the horror GM.
Yes, he is.
To the point that I usually, when I text the group, which like the week before, I now call them the victims.
So, can I ask you a really quick question? Sure. What do the different dice do or symbolize?
Okay. Basics.
Probably not a simple
No, each dice has a different number of sides.
Want to get Michael a bowl? Their dice have dropped every... Jeff?
Oh, I'm sure.
Okay.
So
each dice has a different number of sides.
Drop all over.
This is your D20, your traditional Dungeons and Dragons.
Right, I know, I heard that.
We use it like once in the game because it's for our turn order. We'll relatively easy. So sum it up, and whoever gets the highest number goes first, and we go in order. So that's how we do our initiative. So
I think we've all done it
so
about
that's your
200
D20.
times at
I'm gonna
least.
get you the other D20 out of the way. Percentile die, if you get a percentile of something, you'll roll that's like 20, 40, 68%. It's got 10 sides. You've got your D12, it's got 12 sides.
I will say hello, victims.
That's funny. Now,
And, you know, when I took over about 18 months ago, and oh God, I can't wait to hand back the reins. You know, one guy who now lives in Texas, who's, again, real life gets in the way sometimes. He used to live over here. We've known him since he was, God, 11. Yeah, because when we knew his brother, and when I took over and I was like, oh, now the real fun starts. And he turned around and said, we're having fun? You're GMing.
so how long does it take you to come up with a narrative?
Forever.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm the first thing I'll do is, you know, I want to figure out where I want to go. Mm-hmm. And I get a lot of inspiration from grounded real issues. I want to tell a story. I deal with a lot of trauma in my games.
Okay.
My games are going to force you mentally to deal with trauma. I'm going to push your character's trauma buttons. And I will ask someone when they join, what are your limits? Obviously, besides anything inappropriate.
Right.
If you don't like clowns, if you don't want to be picked on for your character for being fat, if you don't want your purple hair to be teased.
No cannibals.
No cannibals.
That's good. It's good. It's a good rule.
Actually, I think that one went out the window when.
Yeah, kind of did, but we kind of got that more back on the shelf.
Not today.
Oh,
Then
good
that's a
Lord.
hint.
Oh, I know where that's going, and I am not happy with you, but okay.
Okay,
I can't believe who's showing up today.
Well, yeah, do some D12. That's pretty sound. These are usually used for random events.
Yeah,
So you have a many events on the GM's.
Yeah, we hear you.
You roll whichever one you pick is what you get. So that's how we have.
We hear you, Ashley.
My mic apparently was muted on the computer, not in Discord.
Okay, D10s. These are.
Oh my God! The worst thing you ever want as a GM is people to text you like the hour before. I want quiet because I don't want to know if there's a problem at the last second.
Yeah.
I tell one of the things I'm a stickler for is if you know you're not coming, tell me a couple of days before.
Yeah, because you might need to change the narrative.
Yeah, exactly. Don't just.
Yeah, it's like, you know, it's a...
Now, there are circumstances, if someone just moved 2 weeks ago, I don't expect them to...
Or yeah, it's, you know, it's the
or
holiday.
your car broke down. That's different.
Or you have a
got
relative in the
sick.
hospital. You take care of real life
Or
first.
we have a lot of single mothers in this group, so if the mother are sick, or they have their kids sick, that I understand, but if you're just gonna not come, tell me.
So, you mentioned this to me on the phone, was... Your group has predominantly a female contingent. And do you see the dynamic of like a predominantly female group versus a predominantly male group, like how they differentiate? Like,
Sure. I'm not going to be popular with this answer.
That's fine.
But I don't care. I'm honest. You can tell better stories with a female group. If I look at my strongest gamers in history, and the strongest characters, believe it. I mean, Tracy plays males.
Okay.
But if I look at my strongest players and most of my strongest characters who have played this game, 90% are female, if not higher, who are in the group today, who I think are the better players. And I know this is not going to be happy because there is someone coming who's a guy here. And he's not bad. He's a good gamer, but who do I see the highest ceiling with? My females.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, so do you play as a character as well?
Yeah, I play a character named Tristan Wayne, who is the clone son of Batman,
Okay.
who's basically struggling for identity. And he's gone through quite a bit of loss. In fact, it was kind of funny because...
Well, if he's a descendant of Batman, he's definitely going to have
No,
loss.
this is... Here, I'll show you. because I've been trying to figure out a new code name for Tristan, because he's temporarily gone back to Robin.
Oh, so Bruce Wayne has a daughter too. See, I've always liked the take in comics of a huntress being Batman's daughter and that whole thing, as opposed to being
That's an original character, but yes.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like I've always dug.
We have a person in this group who's the Penguin's daughter, and
cool.
she's actually dating Tristan, which is a brave thing to do.
Wow, this is
Survival
nice.
rate when your Tristan's love interest is not always.
It's hard mode.
Like a James Bond love interest.
Death for breakfast. Oh my god!
But so now, does each player create a bio and backstory of their character, or do you kind of forge it? How does that work?
I guess it's 2/3 of them and 1/3 of fitting into the storyline. I mean, what they usually do is we'll make a character with them. That we'll teach them the system. And what'll happen is Tracy or I or both of us will help someone make a character, and we'll go through the system. It's with creation points, and characters take a while. Mm-hmm. There have been people who've taken 8 hours in a shot making a character. Some people take two sessions of time with us, where they'll take 10 or 12, and it's fine.
I'm Michael Canetti. I am the podcasting geek that these lovely folks invited into their home, a total stranger. My character's name, his hero name is Tennessee Ransom. His alias, or his real name is Elias Ransom. And he's a highwayman and vigilante, which I kind of dig. It's just kind of me in a way. I think it's fantastic.
Oh, you want to show what he looks like?
Yeah. Oh boy, you even designed what I look like? Come on, this is crazy. Oh, so I'm a swashbuckler. Oh, okay, cool. Sweet. I'm out of Gotham by gaslight, apparently.
Pretty much. Same era.
Okay, so it was good that I texted you.
These are the ones you'll be rolling today.
Okay. Are you there?
Our hybrid system you run uses 2d10s, and you're trying to roll low.
Okay.
It's completely different.
I thought maybe you had to go take something on the farm.
Okay.
Like this is a threshold number. It's like you gotta hit that number, or this 12 or whatever, and lower to succeed.
Okay.
So this is what you'll be rolling on these 2d10s.
Okay.
Basically, they'll pick their stats. We hand them out a manual ahead of time. We basically kit bashed a manual together where someone makes somebody with creation points. Mm-hmm. And from there they make their stats. And then we strongly recommend somebody plays a metahuman or something like that because it's easier stat-wise. I don't play a metahuman, and I will tell you this, it is a challenge like hell. The stronger the villains are now getting, and the less my character is with metahuman.
Listen, it's funny you say that, because I was doing a podcast last night with one of my students who was doing an interview with me with comic books, and like I've always felt that the version of Batman that is a grounded Gotham City based detective is better than when he's facing Darkseid, because it's like, how could I don't care how smart Batman is, there's this omniscient powered being, how could he win? I see what you're saying in the sense of like, how does a non-powered character survive
Tech.
Tech basically. It's Iron Man and all that kind of stuff, in that vein.
There are modifiers, but they're pretty simple.
No
They're
problem.
called talents.
Mm-hmm.
For every talent you have, you can subtract 2 to your roll. And
It's part of gaming on Discord.
You look at what you're trying to do, and you try to think, does this fit in? Like, if I'm picking a lock, lock picking works here. If I'm investigating crime scene, do I have the detective skill?
And you want to know the
I have
funny
the
thing
detective
is,
skill, then now roll.
I'm telling
Take
everyone
off-
how you got
use up
this
the 2
nice,
talents
loud,
because
booming
past
voice.
that,
God, there's so many questions I could
That's where a game kind of also, I would say, more or less forces a sense of realism on you, because that is reflected in the game, that there is a difference between Darkseid and Batman. It's not, okay, the plot armor is going to save you. It's, okay, you have to figure this out. So the desperation, the ability to, how do I figure this out? How do I manage my resources to get this done? There's a more genuine storytelling to it. Okay, let's just fill these pages for this week. I mean, nothing against comic editors, but there's a huge difference between a fixed narrative and just trying to get the pieces to fit than something that's interactively happening and has a sense of chance to it. And that's where the fun of the roleplay comes in.
We create the events as far as this is the situation. I tell people it's up to you guys to solve it. If you want to kill the villain, go for it. If you want to be the Terminator and be like a cruel jerk, go for it. If you want to be charitable with a heart of gold, that... I will say this, the thing that bites some people in the butt is when they make characters who are hypocritical.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And that is going to come up today if you're around long enough.
Oh my goodness! I can't wrap my head around this. This is so wild.
I'll show you in the plot line.
So we kind of joked earlier about comic book characters dying and coming back to life. But what if one of your players' characters dies, and they're gone for a period of time? Now, do you create a new character, or how does that work?
Player's choice. If they want to bring back their old character and play them again, it's usually not an issue to find some way of bringing them back that's at least creative, if not amusing. Usually serious, but sometimes amusing. Or if they want to create a new character that's been a while, and they just, hey, I want a new start.
Most people want to continue the story.
Interesting.
Based on how somebody rolls, how do you know what the narrative takes to next based on the number?
It depends if they get under their number.
Okay. But you do you have to plan ahead what the number
I have an idea of what success is.
Because there is an emotional investment and attachment to a character.
Oh, yeah.
It's committing crimes as a hero that is the one thing in this game that will bite you really hard.
Really? Interesting. Now,
intentional crimes.
So this is a question that I don't know how to answer. I mean, so if you're a character in the game and you, the person, is writing this narrative, how do you surprise yourself in the way things play out?
You don't know how someone's going to react to what you're throwing out there. You want to know. I would love to have them sit down and go, this is how my character thinks all the time, but you don't know. And that's really the surprise, because there have been plenty of times I've sat there like, what the hell? Good and bad.
Yeah.
Bad means they just made the plot a little more interesting down the line. Good means, okay, I got this right, and wow, they really carried this.
Wow. I never thought of it that way. That's interesting.
They really don't make bad choices. They make plot. And you have to be open to that. It's their character. You don't control them. And it's kind of like children. You don't control what they do, unfortunately, sometimes.
It's amazing how much I can visualize a parallel with D&D, its narrative storytelling, and comics, and good film. There's a clear through line in just speaking of plot and if this then that consequences. And I never even thought of it that way until just now, and I find that so interesting.
I tend to run the villains that are going to mentally push you and make you grow.
Now, do you create new villains, or do you use pre-existing archetypes and like the Joker?
I make my own villains, mostly. I don't use the Joker. I think I've used him once.
Once, I think, yeah.
And I used him in a unique way. I used him in the Dreamlands, which is one thing when you create something that's kind of like your own thing. Like, you can pull things from this or that. I love Cthulhu, like I said. And the Dreamlands is something I pull a lot from. Lovecraft. I read a lot of Lovecraft. But here's the funny thing. I can't sit through horror films.
Really?
They bother me.
See, I don't
The
like
gore.
I don't like horror films like, you know, the Freddys and the.
No, that's what I'm saying. They bother me. But the psychological thrillers, I will sit there through.
You give me a serial killer movie, I'll watch that, but I can't watch like a Jason or a Halloween, all that kind of stuff.
I really think one of my favorite movies is the Michael Douglas movie, The Game.
Oh, it's a good movie.
Where it's and I try to make this game a lot like that, where I'm going to put you in those situations where
You're really trying to mentally damage this.
yeah, I do.
And then I come in GM and you have a high adventure for several months with some twists. So it's a totally different GMing.
And then I
perspective.
just totally
And then
break
she
them
just
down
breaks
again.
them again. breaks
That's
them down
funny.
again.
Wow.
I will make your character face the demons he or she doesn't want to face.
Now, do you see the human person that's playing as said character what I mean is feel the emotional impact of the character you're
Sure. You the more they put into it, yeah. We've had people cry
Yes.
really.
in character.
I've been in tier a couple times too. It's not that uncommon, but it has to be something where it's like this really impacts the character, and I'm in that mindset. I will start crying.
We've got
Yes.
a new girl who I ran a solo with, and in the beginning it was so emotionally hitting on her with beats. She basically almost broke down in tears.
Now, I've heard that people have formed like companies or LLCs around the gaming community for D&D, and like people will, you know, almost pay to subscribe into certain things. Is that like a common thing, or is it kind of?
I really don't like the pay per game society because this is a hobby,
Right.
and this is a game. This is not a professional thing.
I feel like it takes the fun out of it.
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, if you like people who've told me that have done pay per games, it's like they'll pack like 20 people in. Because if you think about it, as a game master, how do you make money?
Right.
More people,
people, more subscriptions. Yeah.
You know, so and you got to. Some places are like you got to pay in advance, and you got to pay $200, and if you don't like it, you don't get your money back.
Yeah.
And I think this, and I'm gonna slam the D&D community on this pretty hard. Some of the excuses I've really heard for why they do the pay for gaming commute stuff is because people are lazy. They don't want to take the time to help someone make a character because there's D&D Beyond, which is an app where you can make a character. But if you have somebody who's new, they're not going to know the nuances of they're not just going to. There's a lot of ins and outs. It's like this. It's when someone plays football or ice hockey. Sure, they can put on skates and they may have a naturally great shot or a gifted passer, but they don't know the nuances of the game. It's the chemistry of who they're going to get on a line with or develop that that touch with as a receiver from a quarterback, or know who that quarterback can stand behind, which tackle's going to block out 90% or more of their rushers. It's stuff like that. And
so what you're kind of saying, and I've sort of noticed this, like, you know, when you're playing on a D&D, you know, it within a group,
and that's
right?
not all D&D people, but the people that like are. It's not all of them, because there are a lot of GMs out there that'll still spend time to get to know people as they're making their characters, and that's, I think, essential.
Oh, I think so too, because I feel like that, you know, the game isn't like me versus you. It is
Me and you.
It's us versus whatever the narrative is. So it's, you know, you're sort of, it's not like you're at a poker table and I gotta, you know.
Right, no.
So I find that so interesting because, like you said, you don't know how someone's going to react to a certain thing or how it's going to impact the entire team in different emotional ways.
Yeah, you don't. But you get a better understanding of someone when you spend the time making their character, because they will open up to you and tell you about their lives a little bit. And some people will tell you the whole life story in a 3-hour conversation, and some won't. But you'll get those nuggets of, hey, this is who I am, and this is what I do, and this is my story. And you'll get their temperament, and that's a big thing. Some people want to stay in the shadows, and that's okay. And some people want you to dump as much on them. We used to have a girl that played a character named Brisby.
Brisby.
And I could dump on her. We used to run LARPs.
What's a LARP?
A LARP is a live action role play.
Okay.
And what it was, and we used to run them at Icon. I miss LARPing.
I do too.
Is try to imagine what you do is you get, it's kind of like mixing a movie with gaming.
Okay.
Because it's like the sense of like, it's all about in character. It's about my character's got goals to implement. My character has to go out and find allies. If you're the good guy, you're trying to find where are the villains. Who's a villain? Who's not? That type of thing. It's a lot of interpersonal dynamics. And there are no NPCs. I'm sure you heard the term. You'll see a lot of them today. And one of the things I'll try to do are voices. And that's something I've always encouraged Tracy to do, which she's gotten much better with over the ages, is voices and emotional inflection.
Right. Well, again, you're telling a narrative story, like, and essentially your narrative that you're speaking is the omniscient, storyteller, and just like you're reading a novel, you're going to hear it in various inflections and whatnot. So there's a lot to that. Now, because you have this Discord community as well,
which is great. I really think it's a great community.
It is.
Do things happen sort of, I'm going to use this term, like off camera, like
Sure.
like when you're going to play in today, but then you might not play for another month. Like, is there chatting going on?
Yeah, sure. I'll show you. I'm just going to show you one of the people who's in the game, and most of my friends are the people in this game, believe it or not. Let's see, where's Crystal's message? Yeah, Crystal, here, this is somebody who's in the group. She may come later today, she may not. She works at Hobby Lobby, and she's newer, but she's really good. She's never done this before, but what helps her, she's very empathetic. She's got a strong personality, and she knows how to talk to people.
Yes.
And yeah, her and I have developed a real friendship, and I consider Crystal one of my very best friends, and I would take a bullet for her. And a lot of my people in this group, I would too. Oh wow, the Rangers are down. What a surprise.
Shocker.
I hate this thing sometimes. It's like it'll go off on anything.
It's true. Now, do you find people are do you see, like, if someone is maybe an introvert in real life, they become more extroverted?
Yeah, because they get seen.
Right.
I'm in that boat.
People, I can be introverted and extroverted. I could be both. If you put me in a room filled with my sisters, or I have one sister, but people like her, I will become very introverted, very self-conscious, and it will be like all the demons of my past will pop up at once, and I want to get out of there and scream. But I think one of the reasons gamers stick so well together is because we are the people who are unseen mostly. And we are the people who've been unheard. And it's not about skin color or race or this or that. It's nobody has seen us for some reason. Nobody's given a damn. We were told that sit down, shut up by our parents, or had our heads smashed into a wall at 6 months. And so you get a lot of empathy for people. Some people are absolutely will go off the deep end, but you roll with it because, it's not you they're really getting upset about. They're upset about something that's in their lives.
I've often said when when somebody, let's say, lashes out at a person for... I used to work for Apple a long time ago.
Okay.
And if someone would come in with a cracked screen on their phone, right, and they would, like, lash out at me, somebody told me once that it's not the phone that is the trick. It basically, the phone is the thing they can't control in their life that is the straw that breaks the camel's back of the other stuff they're
There's
dealing
other
with.
stuff going on there.
You know, and I find it so interesting in the fact that the community you have built has become a safe place for people, right? In a safe space for them to, you know, be seen and feel like they have, you know, a true impact to something, and people that genuinely care and love them, which I find so fascinating, and I love that.
I mean, we are mostly the people, like, look at a gaming shop. It's very much similar to a comic shop. Mm-hmm. Grim, where you get people who go all over, and, you know, as far as it's a big shop, and, you know, it's not exactly the Martha Stewart of, you know, of stores.
Yeah.
But it's packed with people who are mostly the unseen.
Yeah. I've been really fascinated by this particular topic for a while now, and this sort of, like, you know, trying to help people realize that they are valued and they are loved in some capacity, you know, like, 'cause I just, you don't know the battles people are fighting in their own mind and their own lives. Like, it's so interesting, and I didn't think this conversation would go that direction. This is very interesting. Now,
Everybody's battling something.
yeah. And now, I get the impression that people in your group may confide in you, you know, their personal stuff.
You would not believe.
So, you know, you have to...
And I'll never say it, but...
No, I wouldn't, obviously. But, like, you have to, you know, be their shoulder or their rock at times. And, you know...
I think you assume that responsibility when you're leading a group is that you know, you're their leader in a sense. You're the de facto leader.
Right.
And some of these people need a shoulder to cry on or a friend. God knows I do at times. It's a two-way street. You know, I've gotten much more out of my friends than I think they've ever asked of me, and I wouldn't want a different group of people in my life than the people I have.
You're a deep guy, man. You're a deep guy.
I'm a poet. What do you expect?
You're a poet. You're a novelist.
Yes, I wrote Alexa a poem for her birthday, if you'd like to see.
Yeah, we'll do it after.
I can send it to you, but...
So, I'm trying to bring this train to the station. Because we're getting close to game time soon.
Is it? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gotta be. Oh yeah, they're going.
They're gonna be
Oh
batting
my
down
god!
the
No,
doors.
they've been talking about it for an hour among each themselves.
That's funny. So, now, I'm going to piggyback on this last part that we were just talking about. Now, if somebody comes to you with a personal thing that they're dealing with, you know, in their real life, do you try to avoid that stuff in the narrative, or do they want to deal with it in a different way?
I think it really depends on the person. I mean, obviously, if someone's been assaulted, that's an issue.
That's a
You
big
don't touch that.
Yeah, you don't go there, yeah.
You don't go there. If you do, I mean, and I hate to say it, there have been plenty of DMs who've done that to women, and it's disgusting.
Yeah, I agree.
I can give a personal perspective on that. When I first joined this group, I was pretty shy, pretty non-vocal. I didn't really have a vibrant social life growing up, and it's actually through the characters and through Paul's guidance of running my characters that I've developed enough confidence where I could actually do leadership both in game and out of game, and I feel much more confident because I had a safe space where I could work through that stuff where, hey, if I messed up as, you know, the superhero, okay, I messed up in a game. There's no real long-lasting things, but it gave me the confidence to do what I do now at work, which is I basically sell computers to people, and that takes about bit of fortitude when you're trying to sell something that's very expensive that they might not think they need. But it is the same skill set. So as far as the therapeutic side, and as far as the, hey, I'm working through this issue side, that's where I got a personal benefit for it. But like I said, models may vary. Somebody else might need something totally different. But we're there if, hey, we have a hobby together, we enjoy this, but we're all in a human adventure together, let's go.
I'm not perfect, I don't want people to think I'm some messiah or anything, because there is definitely somebody who should be sitting at this table who's not right now. And it breaks my heart every time, because I don't think there's a person I love more in this world than her. And I'm sorry. And when you feel like you failed someone, that hurts a lot more. And you remember that a lot more than the people sometimes you helped.
Wow. So I'm gonna I'll bring us into the station here. So,
Okay.
Paul, I gotta say you're an amazing dude. You're pretty awesome.
I wouldn't agree with that, but I'll take it.
Listen, I've only known you a month and a half now, and I think you're pretty cool.
You're awesome too, Mike.
Thanks. Yeah. You're a genuinely caring person, and kind-hearted, and you are a very all are welcome. Both of you are very all are welcome, and I love that. And I love that you've built this community that's lasted as many years as you've, which is wild. And I hope it lasts, 15, 20 more years. That would be amazing.
Yeah, it would.
It would be.
And, I have goosebumps. I'm really blown away, and I'm personally so glad that you've reached out to my message, and I got to meet you and chat with you both and have this, amazing conversation that I did not think about a narrative storytelling game. Like, it just it blows my mind. So let me ask you this. So let's say somebody wants to join your group. How can they find you on Discord?
Okay.
Our community site, we have a Vermin and Valor community site.
Exactly.
You should be able to find it on the search. Drop right in, send a message.
Or email. You
email
can give me your
works.
email. Oh, yeah, can both.
But we do have a community site stuff where people drop in and say, hey, I wanted to learn more. They're more than happy to join up and get in on the shenanigans.
The shenanigans. It sounds like it's deeper than shenanigans, for sure.
But, yeah, I'm on Facebook, too, as you know.
Yep.
Paul Calderazzo. Calderazzo. It's not an easy name to spell.
I'll put it in the lower third.
Yeah.
That's where the text goes.
Exactly. But again, both of you, I wanted to just take a moment to thank you both for welcoming me into your home and having this incredibly touching conversation that I can't wait to listen to it again when I edit it and everything, because this was one of a kind, and I think you both are very special people, and this was awesome. Do you have any final thoughts before we wrap up here?
You want to say something? I can't think.
I think that people who have not role-played and would like to try it, go right ahead. It's improv theater. It is a very fun experience. Don't let the mechanics, don't let the stuff deter you from doing it. Worst case, rock, paper, scissors to figure out what happens. I started on a message board, and we just kind of decided among ourselves and wrote it out. It's evolved over years where, there's rules, but don't let the rules get in the way. If there's a story you want to tell, and you just want a little element of chance to it, tell it. That's why we do this. We have stories we want to tell. We have characters we want to bring to life. We're not all going to be in Hollywood. We're not all going to be best-selling authors. But we still have stories to tell, and, stories are the basis of life. That's how humanity has history. That's how we exist. So, enjoy. That's why it's there.
I couldn't have said that better myself. That's is somebody doorbelling you?
Maybe.
Yeah, Jeff was saying, can I come up? And I said quietly.
I will wrap us up here. Well, folks, this was one of the most fascinating conversations I've ever had on a podcast, and I'm so thankful to be invited here. And if you want to follow us, you can go on our Instagram or TikTok at SYWTBAG. That's Switbag, and it's so this is Michael from So You Want to Be a Geek, and I am totally bought into this D&D world. I can't believe it. It's amazing. So until next time, everybody, bye for now. This episode of So You Want to Be a Geek was dedicated to Paul's daughter, Alexa. To Alexa, this is for all the memories we built and the future I still hope we share. My door is always open. You're perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
You got a good bassy, like Barry White kind of voice. I like it. Just...
My wife kind of like says like every woman in this game is like, tell them.
Oh, it's just hysterical. We have a lot of female gamers, so it's just his voice just.
That's fun.
You know, she thinks I'm the Don Juan of this group, and I go, oh God.
That's funny. It's a big coffee.
Michael, when I was younger, I used to drink 12 cups a day.
Wow, I wouldn't sleep.
Airliner, sitting in business class across from the magician and the gambler.
It's like a Billy Joel song.
I know, right? And
Aces high. I'm saying.
okay, you know what? You two are gonna do that. Both of you roll.
So you are getting yoinked by the guy with the cards.
Yoinked. Oh boy.
I swear to God, if you rickroll us, I'm gonna kill you.
So. I'm at a loss for words now.